marine protection falls short amid rising pollution risk. A growing body of research is challenging how marine protection is defined and measured. Analysis from the Wildlife Conservation Society and the University of Queensland indicates that many marine protected areas, MPAs, are exposed to significant levels of sewage pollution, raising concerns about their effectiveness as conservation tools. This comes at a critical point for ocean policy. The global 30 by 30 target aims to protect 30% of oceans by 2030, positioning MPAs as a core mechanism for biodiversity and climate resilience. However, the data suggests that designation alone does not ensure ecological outcomes, particularly when land-based pollution continues to flow into these zones unchecked. Across more than 16,000 MPAs studied, nearly three-quarters were affected by sewage contamination. In biodiversity hotspots, such as coral reef regions, the exposure rate climbs to between 87% and 92%. In some cases, pollution concentrations inside protected areas were found to be significantly higher than in surrounding unprotected waters. This pattern reflects a structural issue. While MPAs can regulate activity within their boundaries, such as fishing or tourism, they cannot control upstream pollution sources. Wastewater and agricultural runoff from urban and industrial systems continue to enter coastal ecosystems, often undermining conservation gains. Business and policy implications of land-based pollution, the findings highlight a broader disconnect between environmental targets and implementation. Wastewater, carrying nutrients, pathogens, and chemicals, has wide-ranging impacts, from coral reef degradation to harmful algal blooms. These effects extend into economic systems, affecting fisheries, tourism, insurance risk, and coastal infrastructure. The human cost is also substantial. Contaminated water is linked to an estimated 1.4 million deaths annually from diseases such as cholera and typhoid, while economic losses run into the billions. For investors and operators in coastal markets, this creates both reputational and financial exposure. For policymakers, the message is straightforward. Marine protection strategies cannot operate in isolation. Without parallel investment in wastewater infrastructure, regulatory enforcement, and integrated land-sea planning, MPAs risk becoming symbolic rather than functional. The 30 by 30 framework, embedded in the Global Biodiversity Framework, is designed as part of a wider system that includes pollution reduction and ecosystem restoration. Progress on protected area expansion without corresponding action on land-based pollution could limit measurable outcomes, particularly in fast-growing coastal economies. For businesses and governments, the shift is less about scaling back ambition and more about refining execution. Effective ocean conservation increasingly depends on cross-sector coordination, linking environmental policy with urban planning, infrastructure investment, and watershed management. As scrutiny around impact grows, the distinction between nominal protection and real performance is becoming harder to ignore. The next phase of marine strategy will likely be defined not just by how much ocean is protected, but by how effectively surrounding systems are managed.